Kaboom! CalPERS pension loses $60 to $90 billion in 3 weeks. Barry, who is CalPERS?
CalPERS is the California Public Employees Pension Retirement System. It's by far the largest pension plan in the United States. It covers 1.9 million people in its defined benefit pension. And as of January 2020, according to its website, CalPERS had, out of Sacramento, California, had $402 billion in assets.
Who does CalPERS cover in pension benefits?
Well, CalPERS covers all the public employees in California: policemen, firefighters, lifeguards, municipal employees, state governments, that type of thing. It doesn't include the CalSTRS, or the California Teachers Pension Plan, which is their big cousin, if you will.
What is the significance of CalPERS losing $67 billion in 3 weeks?
This is a huge loss. It's roughly 18% of its value, and 3 weeks were wiped out, or roughly $67 billion or $69 billion. And this is only for 3 weeks into the month, so it could be much greater.
Could this get worse? What about all of the illiquid alternative investment pensions like private equity, hedge funds, and real estate?
Indeed, it could. The $67 billion in losses were only included the publicly traded securities, such as stocks and bonds. This didn't include the CalPERS real estate assets of $42.4 billion, such as real estate, illiquid investments, and another $26 billion in private equity investments, which are not marked to market like stocks or bonds. The coronavirus could make this much worse. MSCI Inc., which is the index company, estimates the value of large buyouts or leveraged buyouts in private equity lost as much as 35% in the first quarter, and they base their figures on the Burgess Group. So this could essentially pile on another 20 to 24 billion in losses, meaning that the real losses to CalPERS are probably somewhere between 67 billion and 90 billion.
Why is CalPERS losing so much money important?
Well, like surfboards and everything else, California seems to be first. CalPERS is the bellwether in public pensions, and we're not including its sister CalSTRS. What happens in CalPERS generally happens in other pensions. Like everything else in society, California seems to be the forerunner in this. So we're here in New Hampshire, but these dramatic pension losses will affect pensions in New York, Illinois, Texas, Colorado, you name it. All these pensions are essentially invested with the same Wall Street investment managers.
This is not good, I assume.
No, it's actually horrible news. First of all, you have some incredibly rich pensions for public employees, which are extremely expensive to fund. Some folks have annuities worth $5-6 million a year, which average private employee has maybe about $100,000 in his 401k or so. Let's give an example. Curtis Ishii, who worked at CalPERS, I think, for 40 years in the fixed income division there, he got an annual salary of an annual pension plan of $418,000 for life. In the last year he worked at CalPERS, he made public compensation of $688,000. So, and this is according to public records. So, according to CalPERS records, more than 21,000 former Cal employees have pension benefits worth $100,000 or more. And the average pension for the California Highway Public Control, or the CHIP people, around $122,000 a year. This is extremely expensive to finance, and the 30% losses make it much worse.
So these pensions are a mess. Will they be able to pay all of these obligations?
Not likely. Look, CalPERS and other public pension plans have been projecting linear rates of return of 7.25% to 7.5%. And when research firms such as Piscataqua Research out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Cliffwater LLC out of Marina Del Rey project that pension plans pretty much get 30-year Treasury bill rates of return, which is about 5.7%. The problem is, at that rate, they're 30% off. And according to 30-year Treasury bills as of today, only yielding 1.237%. So this is unmitigated financial disaster, since pension plans must get huge returns to finance pensions. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a Ponzi scheme.
What is the takeaway?
Look, any honest actuary, the folks who calculate returns for pensions to remain buoyant, will tell you there's only 3 ways to get to correct these outrageous pensions. The number one way is to get greater investment returns, which is very unlikely and virtually impossible at this point. Number two, you got to get greater contributions from the taxpayer. And the third way to correct these outrageous benefits is to reduce benefits, which is highly likely. Regrettably, public pension plans will join the bailout trail, which if they're going to follow the Wall Street banks, General Motors, and now the airlines. So the public pension plans will likely get into the bailout line.
What can the average person do?
Well, first of all, the people need to preserve what they have and stop listening to the Wall Street drivel about buying on the dip and rest the propaganda, which it is. You need to read my books. I've been preaching about this since 2007. The first rule of financial planning is to protect principal, not chase returns like giant mutual fund companies like BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, State Street, and others espouse. Look at Fidelity made record incomes and profits in 2019. Now its customers have been lost about 30% of their portfolios. Stop chasing the green arrows. Check us out at barrymdykes.com or email me at bdyke, D-Y-K-E, @camnh.com. Thank you.